Hello, everybody. So you might be wondering why I'm in a dark room. Well, I have to be in a dark room to see the inside of the chicken egg. But I'm going to have just a tiny bit of light because I do need to see kind of sort of what's going on. So I'm going to set that right here. Okay. Hello, one viewer. I guess I need to make a caption. Can I do that? Add a description while you guys are watching. Candling chicken eggs. Okay, so yes, it is very dark in here, but you'll see why here in just a second. I'm gonna wait for some people to start coming in. I have 41 eggs to candle, so we'll be here for a little bit. Yeah, so this is day 7 of the incubation, so we should be able to tell that if there's anything going on inside the egg, or if, they're dead. So this is what we're looking for. We are looking for blood vessels, and maybe even a tiny little embryo moving around. In the ones that are just not doing anything, there won't be anything in there except for a yolk. There are probably going to be some that started to incubate and then they died. So in those eggs there's going to be a blood ring all the way around the egg. So I also want to say that mama hens, when they are when they're sitting on the eggs, they will get up once or twice every other day. So opening the incubator this one little time is not going to be a big deal. So I'm going to switch the camera around. Let Maverick take over the camera. And here is, this better work. Here's my candler. So it's just a LED flashlight with a kind of like a cup on the end of it. We are going to open the incubator. I'm just going to set that down here. So chickens are very close relatives to dinosaurs, so we are looking at little dinosaurs right now. These two right here are the ones that I'm most interested in. Curious to see if they have anything in them, though I seriously doubt that they do. These were old eggs laid by my chicken who's 6 years old, but I had them for a week or two. So as you can see here, there's no blood vessels in that at all. It's just a chicken egg. I'll look a little closer. These are going to be the easier ones to look at, the light colored eggs, but here is the air sac, and then there's the yolk, but there's no blood vessels at all. So I'm going to put that to the side in a basket. Here, I'll show. I'm also recording it on my iPad, so there are no blood vessels here. We don't want to leave that in the incubator because it will explode. It will get rotten and it will explode. Here is the other white egg, and as I figured, since these were older, these were a couple weeks old, they're not doing anything at all. So these need to be tossed. Let's get to a couple that I know are viable so you guys can see. Hopefully. Okay. Do you see these little blood vessels in here? Let me adjust the light a little bit. I don't see a ring. And I think, well, hopefully that's not a ring. Let's look at a couple more. There are definitely some blood vessels in there, though. June and Thea are watching. Hi, June and Thea. You can tell me. You can tell me if you're afraid to talk with me. Okay, so this one doesn't have any blood vessels at all, and you can see why, because the egg is this egg is very porous. You can see all the little tiny holes that lets in bacteria and stuff, and so this one just was not a good egg. So we're going to put it to the side so that it doesn't explode in our incubator. Here is another good one. Okay, so you can kind of see right here. I don't know if you can see or not. There's kind of like a dark spot. That's the little chicken. This little dark spot right here, that's the chicken. And I don't know if you can see the blood vessels in this one or not. So we'll put that one back in there. That one's good. I have a feeling this one's not going to have anything in it because, well, actually, maybe. This one was another one of the older ones that came. But see, it's also porous too. I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to put it back in there, and then a few more days I'll candle again. Because these darker ones, you're not going to be able to see a whole lot in. I honestly I can't see too much in this one either. It kind of looks right here like we might have some blood vessels forming, so we'll put it back in there. This is day 7, so in a few more days I'll candle again. Oh, here we go. Here's some blood vessels. Looky here. Let me set it down in the candler. I'm not used to using this fancy candler. I'm just used to using a flashlight. So here is the chicken. And here's all the blood vessels. So we have to candle to see which eggs are good and which eggs are bad, but in the wild, like if my chickens out there were hatching eggs, the mama hen knows which ones are good and which ones are not. This one is definitely good. And though they can tell which chicken eggs are good and which are bad, and they will toss them out. They will kick them out of the nests if they are bad. Ooh, this one's really, really good. This is a good example. Let me there's a really healthy I'm sorry if I'm blinding you guys with this light. I'll try to kind of turn it sideways. So this one is really healthy. I want to try to find one where we can see like the little chicken bopping around in there. The mama hen will also, like from the time that she starts sitting on the egg until they hatch, she will talk to the babies in the egg. So this one is also good. I don't know if you can see. Right here. It only takes 2 days for the spine, the brain, the nervous system, the head to form, the ears. It only takes 2 days of incubation. Right there is our chicken. That dark spot right there. And it only takes 72 hours for the heart to start beating. It only takes 72 hours inside the incubator or under a mama hen. This one is definitely good, and it's dark, which that's a good sign. If it's dark in there, that means there's a thick membrane forming. That's good. That's healthy. And I made sure to wash my hands really, really good before I did any of this. This one's good too, but the shell is super dark, so we can't see a whole lot. Maybe if I turn it on its side, we might be able to see a little better. Okay, so this right here, this is the air sac. And depending on your humidity level, which is how much water you have in the incubator, if you have too little humidity, that air sac will grow or shrink. We want it to be at the perfect level, 55 to 60% humidity, while they're incubating. And that little air sac is what the baby chick will poke its head up through and take its first breath of air before it comes out of the egg. So that little air bubble right there, that's the air sac. And that's the baby chicken's first breath of air. It looks like it might be right here. And when a baby chick hatches, that's called a pip. It's pipping through the egg. This one's super dark. Let's see if we can... I think I see some blood vessels in there. Oh yeah, definitely. Right here. Hello everybody who is watching, and I'm sorry if I'm not able to say hi. So this is another good one. Sorry if I'm blinding you with this light. I'm going to try to be really careful. Can you guys see? Okay, so there's a really hard line right here. And up here, I know it's kind of hard to see on the video, but there are blood vessels forming. So the day that a chick hatches, on the day the chick hatches. Okay, so here is one that is not, there's nothing in there. See the difference? It's completely clear, there's no blood vessels, all you see is the yolk. So this one's got to go so it doesn't explode in the incubator. This one has got to go. But on the day that the chick hatches, as it is hatching, there is a little bit of the yolk sac left inside the egg, and it will absorb. This is a good one. It'll absorb the rest of the yolk into its little bum, and that will give the chick its nutrients for its first few days of life. That's how, like, they're able to ship chicks to you from the hatcheries, and they don't have any food or water or anything. Well, they're living off that yolk. This is another good one. See, it's really dark at the top. And I think right here, if you can see, there's a little shadow. That's the chicken. If I'm still, maybe we can see it moving around. So that's another good one. It's kind of crazy that we're looking at little tiny dinosaurs right now before they hatch out of the eggs. So right here is the baby chicken. See, that's healthy. That's a healthy one. You can almost see it moving. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to try to be really still. I'm going to get kind of close to the camera. And you might be able to see it moving around in there. Do you see it moving? And it's really nerve-wracking to see these little guys. This one came out of my yard. I'm really interested to see. This one is from my chickens. It's really nerve-wracking to watch these guys hatch. Because you want to reach in there and you want to help them get out of the egg. Because you know that you can break the egg open, but you don't want to do that. Because if you do, then you will kill that baby chicken. Because there's a membrane on the inside of the egg that... I'm pretty sure that this is a good one. But I probably shouldn't have put this one in the incubator because do you see how porous the shell is? And that can let in a lot of bacteria. I'm actually not so sure if it's really hard to tell. See, sometimes you'll get a red ring all around the egg, and that means that it started to form, and then it died. But I can't really tell. I'm gonna leave that one in there for a few more days and check it. And so this is another good one. I don't know, I kind of see a ring around through here. Do you see that ring? When I'm not sure, I do leave it in there for a couple more days just to be sure that I'm not pulling out a healthy egg. But this one, I'm not so sure about. So anyway, if you try to help a chicken out of the egg, you risk, they have this membrane all along the inside of the egg. And if you bust that membrane before they are ready to come out of the egg, because that membrane has still got blood vessels in it, it's still got blood in it, and while it's hatching, all the blood goes back into the chick and it dries up the way it's supposed to. But if you help the chicken out of the egg too soon and you damage those blood vessels, that baby chicken can bleed out and it won't make it. So you don't want to help a chick out unless it's a super dire situation and you know that it absolutely needs help. There are situations like that. Sorry if I'm blinding you. That's another good one. This is another good one too. I don't know if you can tell, but there's veins that are running down this way. Maverick's yawning. I'm boring him. Okay, here's a really good. Here's the chicken right here. Okay, so I'll be still and you can watch it moving around. He's gonna be right here. There he is. Do you see him? He'll come back. There he is. So that's a healthy one. Oh, there he is. That one was one from my yard too. This one, I don't know if you can tell, this one's a green egg. Oh yeah, you can tell it's a green egg. think he might be like right here. This is another good egg. Everything's forming like it should. And the longer through the incubation process, the less we're going to be able to see. Because, see, it's really dark up here. It's going to keep getting darker because the chick is going to fill up the egg. Okay, speaking of chick, right here. It's right there. These are Americana chicken eggs, so they lay green eggs. This one does not look like there's anything in there at all. See, there's the yolk. Right there's the yolk. But other than that, there's no blood vessels. There's nothing. This one needs to be tossed. This is why we do this, because nobody wants rotten eggs in their house. And plus, if you let an egg bust and get rotten around all the other eggs, they're not going to hatch either. They're going to die. This is another good one. I've never used an incubator, but I have had friends and neighbors who I have hatched eggs with in their incubators. And one time I had a hen that was sitting on some eggs, and then she got up about day 10, and I candled the eggs, and they had chickens in them, and so I brought them inside. And this one's not any good either. See, there's nothing in there, just a yolk. I brought them inside, and I put them in a cardboard box with just a light bulb and a little cup of water to keep the humidity up. And they started to hatch, and on the day that they hatched, the power went out. And we literally hatched those chicks over top of a kerosene lamp. I cannot tell anything about this egg. I can tell that something has started to form because it's really dark on the top, but this egg is really porous. And I cannot tell if there's any vessels in there at all. So I'm going to leave them in there, and then in a few more days, I'll check again. This one is obviously, there's nothing in there at all, so we're going to have to pull them. Either it's just not a fertile egg, or it was so porous that it, you know, it lets bacteria in, and it's just not good. This one, again, I'm not so sure. So it's dark on top. I don't know if I see any blood vessels. Maybe some have started to form. And I can't tell if they stopped. So I'm going to leave them in there for just a couple more days till I can see more. I think this is the breed of chicken here that I'm having trouble seeing through the egg. This isn't like an Americana or like mixed with an Australorp, so it's kind of like a really, for some reason it seems like a really porous egg. So there's nothing in that one either. So this is why they say don't count your chickens before they hatch. Because even though I set 41 eggs, we've already pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is going to be 9. We're going to pull this one too because, see, there's nothing in there. There's only a yolk. There's no blood vessels in there. This one's no good. And one more. This is our last one. Oh, and it's a dud too. So there's nothing in there either. Just the yolk. I'll show you guys one more time. Which one was it that was like really, really active? Where's he at? You can see through these green ones pretty well. I wish I had some white ones that had... Oh, there he is. He's right here. So I'll try to be still so you can see him move. So this is probably my favorite part of the hatching process, other than seeing the baby chicks come out and be all fluffy. Is just getting to see the growing process. And I'm going to turn the light back on, because we've been in the dark. Okay, this is the incubator without the lid on. And it's in an egg turner, and the egg turner is turning the eggs. I think it's like 4 times a day, or 6 times a day, every 4 hours. I think that's what it is. And I think in the wild, a hen would turn her eggs up to 50 times a day. And that's just to keep the yolk from sticking to the sides of the eggs to cause problems. So we're going to stick this lid back on here and get them back up to temperature. And then it's got to go up to 99.5 to 100 degrees and 55 to 60% humidity. So that's going to continue to rise. And we're going to leave them in there for another 14 days. So in 14 days, maybe sooner, you guys will get to see these baby chickens hatch live with me. Hopefully it won't be at midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning when they start to hatch, but it does take, sometimes it'll take like 12 to 24 hours for them to hatch out. So right when one's getting ready to pop out of the egg, I'll be sure to go live. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope maybe... And if you have any questions, you can comment, and I'll try to get this uploaded on YouTube too, so you can view it on there as well. I remember when our grandmother Mina would use a heat lamp in a box. My great-grandmother used to hatch eggs, and I think Daddy said that she used to hatch duck eggs just in a cardboard box with a light bulb. And you can do this. You don't have to have a fancy incubator. You'll have a higher hatch rate if you have a fancy incubator. But you can build one of these at home with a light bulb, a styrofoam cooler, and that's pretty much it. You just need some water in the bottom and like a little wire rack for them to sit on, and you have to turn them every single day. But you can hatch eggs like this at home in a styrofoam cooler. Alright guys, thank you. Bye.